Now, before we end, this I found kind of just awesome. And quite frankly, I found it hilarious. So way back in January, at the end of January, Alex Jones did his best to run a pretty heavy smear job against a former fellow of mine, Pacifica radio show host David Pakman, former fellow that used to also be affiliated with Pacifica. Jones' attacks ended up making for some great samples on David's soundboard, and of course he mentioned the incident on his show, the David Pakman show. A longtime listener of the show and a former Pacifica host myself, I commented on one of his social media platforms and one of his posts that, you know, I'd been listening to the show since 2010, and that, you know, I believe and suggested that his fans should identify as Pac maniacs. I honestly thought this back in those 2010, 2011. I thought, that's, you know, I'm just kind of a dork like that. Well, this grabbed the attention of the Eggman, a frequent caller, commenter, and longtime listener of the David Pakman show as well. He actually responded, informing me that he currently has a dog named Chainsaw, which is awesome. But he failed to mention what kind of dog it is. So, you know, I don't know if it's a Shih Tzu, a German Shepherd, you know, if it's a Yorkie, points to the Eggman if it's a Yorkie. So this sparked a quick back and forth between myself and the Eggman, and I asked, you know, if he would mind if I mentioned the conversation on the show, you know, well, at least that some almost 4 months ago, right? So I reached out to the Eggman, sent him a link to the show, you know, to the YouTube channel, just the other day. And turns out now he's a fan of this show as well. Apparently I reeled in the Eggman with my comments about the ultra MAGA amosexuals and their hyper masculine arquebus lifestyle. Some may recall that last year about this time, I also made a appearance on financial analyst and former gubernatorial candidate Meet Kevin's show. Some may have also noticed that we had a similar lighting setup. So I thought I'd take the time to just come clean with you. Just weeks before my appearance on Meet Kevin's show, you know, he was changing out things around his studio, making room for the new campaign office, and, you know, I was big into couponing back then, so I might have done a little bit of a adventure dumpster diving and retrieved some of his purple lights, you know. And of course, when David Pakman was still in Boston, I might have done the same thing and, you know, picked up this sweet TV. It sits behind me. You may have noticed here. You remember from his old studio setup before he shoplifted Sam Cedars, you know, big panels. So here's my proposition. Some of you may know that we now have a new Patreon, which you can support by going to patreon.com/chainsawccc and show your support for a very small but hearty independent media outlet, foothills of the Ozark Mountains. And, you know, now that I have Kevin's lights and David Pakman's TV, once our Patreon makes it to $200, I will personally fly out to Florida and steal Beau of the Fifth Column's hat. Of course, we're going to need more support for my return trip, because that guy seems huge. And medical care is not cheap, if you haven't noticed. But, you know, maybe after that, I can head back to New York for the rest of Sam Cedars' panels. I don't know. But, look, in all seriousness, folks, thank you so much for everyone who is following me on Twitter, folks who have been watching the show, you know, my new subscribers here on YouTube, and to the Eggman in particular, shalom, my dude. I hope you all have a great, safe rest of your weekend, and catch you on the flippity fling flong. Rock and roll.